Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Nitya Leela Vishnu Vishnupada Divine Grace Lacy Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Samstapakacharya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Leela Vishnu Vishnupada Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Guri Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Sri Rup Sanatana Patragana Sri Jeev Gopala Das Ragana Sadgoswami Prabhu Ki Mama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhana Ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Sri Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Sri Ujjain Dham Ki Gangamai Jamunamai Ki Srimati Brindadevi Tulsi Maharani Ki Srimati Bhakti Devi Ki Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Sri ISKCON Ujjain Ki Sri Sri Nrsingadev Bhagwan Ki Sri Sri Nitai Gaur Sundar Ki Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan Lalita Vishakha Ki Sri Sri Krishna Baldao Donubhaya Ki Jai Gau Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories to the assembled devotee. All glories, all glories, all glories. Sri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. So it's a very extremely great pleasure for me to again be here at the lotus feet, well now of Sri Nrsingadev Bhagwan. There's something new for me today. And be at the lotus feet, Sri Sri Nitai Gaur Sundar. Do you have any special name? And to be here at the lotus feet of Sri Sri, the most enchanting Sri Sri Madan Mohan and Sri Lalita Vishakha, and to be here at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, to be here at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, and to be here after a long time with all the devotees of Ujjain ISKCON. There's not 3 kilometers, all right. Hare Krishna. So anyway, it's a great pleasure to again be here with all of you. And today is a very auspicious day. This is the appearance of Sri Advaita Prabhu. So we were in meetings all day because as you are all aware that Kumbh Mela is coming. So I didn't have too much time to study about Sri Advaita, but I share some wonderful pastimes of Sri Advaita Prabhu. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparandigam Aradhanastranandan Daividam Yachay Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padam Bujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani Jai Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Panchakalpatrubhyascha Vipasindhuvacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So this is the seventh day, the right half of the month of when none other than Sri Advaita Prabhu, Advaita Saptami, called Navagram. His father's name was Kuber Pandit, and his mother, also from a very pious aristocratic Brahmin family, was Nabadevi. So on this day in Nabagram, there was great joy in all directions. As a child appeared, all the villagers became very joyful. Everybody was singing and dancing and rejoicing. And everybody was amazed at the beauty. This was not, they could tell, this is not ordinary child. His beauty was beyond comparison. And he was an extraordinary child. He received his Upadayan Sanskar at only 4 years old. Very young age. And he excelled in all his studies. And eventually, his family moved to Shantipur, not very far from Mayapur. And there he became, because that time that area, Nadia area, was very learned area, so they had moved to there. And he became very, very learned scholar. I can't remember his teacher's name, but it was not far from Shantipur. He studied from a very great teacher. But shortly after his parents left this world, and Advaitacharya, as is the custom, he went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha ceremony for his parents. Since he was already on Tirthyatra, going to Gaya, then he went to other holy places. Somewhere along the way, he ran into the great Madhavendra Puri, who was a reservoir of ocean of love for Radha and Krishna. Although this love for Radha and Krishna was a very, very confidential thing, especially at that time. It was only because Sriman Mahaprabhu has looted the storehouse of love of Godhead that has become known all over the world. Advaitacharya, he received initiation from Sri Madhavendra Puri. It deepened his Vaishnava faith. He continued traveling to holy places. Eventually he came to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, not far from Madan Mohan Temple, there's a place called Advaita Bhat. Bhat, of course, means banyan tree. So underneath that holy banyan tree, he found this beautiful deity of Madan Mohan. Because all the deities had been hidden. They were lost and hidden. In fact, all of Braj was hidden. It's only by mercy of Mahaprabhu, he himself personally came to Braj and revealed Radhakund and Shyamakund to the eyes of the world. He sent his disciples, the 6 Goswamis, to excavate and reveal all the holy places, only by Mahaprabhu's mercy that we know Vrindavan as it is. But that time it was just a forest. He found this beautiful deity of Madan Mohan. There's an interesting story because when Lord Krishna's great-grandson, Bajranab, he came to Braj to establish many deities in honor of his great ancestor, Lord Sri Krishna himself. And he thought this place that is now known as Vrindavan, because actually Prabhupada explains in Krishna book as well as the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that the forest of Vrindavan, because Van means forest, stretches from the municipality that is now known as Vrindavan. Vrindavan is now a municipality. But originally it was a forest that stretched, Prabhupada says, 24 miles up to Nandagram. Huge forest was there. But specifically, this municipality became known as Vrindavan because this is where Krishna's most famous Leela, Ras Leela, took place in this holy place of where the town of Vrindavan is now situated. So he thought he would establish very special deities there. So he called our engineer of the demigods, what's his name? Visvakarma. To make a very special deity, because this is the place of Krishna's Ras Leela, so a special deity of Krishna should be here, enchanting. So he carved one deity, and Bajranab, he wanted to know if this was actually identical form of Sri Krishna. At that time, only one person was left. He's the great-grandson of Lord Krishna. Only one person was left on this world who had seen Krishna directly. That was Mother Uttara, who was staying in Mathura. So he brought her there. As soon as she saw, she said, from the feet to the waist, Katistal. This is Sakshat Brajananandan Shamsam. So then Bajranab, he wasn't satisfied. He had another deity made. When they brought Mother Uttara, she said the chest, Vakshasthal, that is Sakshat Brajananandan Shamsam. So then he had a third deity made. When Mother Uttara came and she saw this deity, immediately she covered her face. Because in our ancient Vedic culture, the younger persons in the family cannot show their face, the younger, especially the women, before their elders. And she is the ancestor, he's a relative. Krishna is the elder relative of Uttara. So immediately she covered her face. This face is exactly Sakshat Brajananandan Shamsam. So that one whose toes to the Katistal, that became Madan Mohan. Vakshastal became Sri Gopinath. And the Mukha Chandra, the beautiful moon-like face, that is Govindadev. So this beautiful Madan Mohan deity, because Bajranab's problem was that when Krishna left this world, he took all the Brishbasis with him. There was no one around. So gradually all the places were lost. And later the modern times, the invaders came and the deities were hidden. So wait for Prabhu, he found this deity underneath this banyan tree. At that time, like I said, there was no temples, hardly any temples in Vrindavan. Maybe the Sakshi Gopal temple was there, because we hear that story from the mouth of Mahaprabhu himself. So that is previous to Mahaprabhu's appearance. But even that temple had fallen in disrepair, because we know that Gopal, he walked to all across India. So he took him to the house in Mathura, it was a big city from ancient times. There was one Purushottam Chobe, so he left him there with Purushottam Chobe. So we're very fortunate here. Our deity is also known as Madan Mohan. And today is that appearance day of that person who found these deities of Madan Mohan. Sri Advaita. I've not seen it anywhere else, but there in Advaita Bhatt, the Goswamis of that place claim that also he found a picture, painting of Radha and Krishna that was made by Lalita Sakhi. Now, he brought that painting back to Shantipur, but of course nobody knows where that painting is, but I've never seen any other description other than what the Goswamis of that Advaita Bhatt tell. Anyway, he found a beautiful picture made by Lalita Sakhi of Radha and Krishna. Very interesting to find that picture. Nobody knows where it is. So then Advaitacharya, he returned back to Shantipur. That whole area was very, at that time was very wealthy. Advaitacharya also was very aristocratic Brahmin of the time. But unfortunately, wealth, especially in Kali Yuga, leads to degradation. So people were simply absorbed in enjoying this material world. And instead of becoming Vaishnavas, they were all becoming Shaktas. And Advaitacharya was very sad at heart. Everyone was worshipping Mother Durga to get more and more material facilities. And everybody was absorbed in enjoying their material facilities. Nobody preached pure Krishna Bhakti. Everybody was absorbed in Yanakand and Karmakand and Mayavad. Only Advaita and his friends, they would gather together in Advaita's house and have kirtan and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, emphasizing pure bhakti, free from any touch of karma or gyan. Just like our Srila Rupa Goswami has given the definition of bhakti. Anya bilasita sunyam jnana karmani anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttamam. Anya means other. Anya bilas. We know this word abilas. We sing every day in Tulsi Artik. Desire. Anya bilas. We don't say to become desireless, because that's impossible. Even if we desire to become desireless, that is a desire. Nobody can become desireless. Only Prabhupada said, dead stone is desireless. Prabhupada one time he said, so if to understand God means to become like a dead stone, I do not care to know what is God. But to understand God means to become like a dead stone, I do not care to know what is God. So he doesn't say to become desireless, anya vilas. Any other desire other than the service of the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. We kick that out. Anya vilasita, shunyam. We should not have any other desire for material enjoyment or knowledge or liberation. Only the desire to serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Anya vilasitasam, jnana karmadhyana, free from this touch of karmakanda and jnana. Anukulyena, this is very important. Anukul. Because Kant, he was also meditating on Krishna, even better than us. Actually, I'm very envious of Kant. 24 hours a day, he's thinking of Krishna. Even his servant brought a glass of water, nice silver thali, nice shiny silver glass, so that silver glass was reflecting all the colors all around it. And Kamsi saw something colorful and shining is coming. He called his guard, Krishna has come, kill him, that Dusta has come, Krishna has come, kill him. Even seeing water, Kansa seeing Krishna. Just like ordinarily in Vrindavan, now it's very cold there, not as cold as here. I mean, it's much colder there than here. But usually it's quite hot, and all the devotees are asking Prabhu, the first word they learn in Hindi, Pani. Prabhu, Pani. Where's Pani? But Hans, even seeing water, he was seeing Krishna. His cook made a nice feast with nice orange, gajar halava, carrot halava, nice matar paneer, nice green matar paneer sabji, red tomato chutney, beautiful yellow puris, and so many opulent things. Nice silver thali with silver katoris and everything. So comes from a distance, he saw something very shining and very colorful is coming. Guards, Krishna's come, that Dust has come, kill him. Hare Maharaj, I just brought your food, your lunch. Now tell me truthfully, on Sunday feast, when you see that big gulab jamun sitting on your plate, do you think of Krishna? Because even seeing his lunch, he was seeing Krishna. He has two wives, the daughters of Jarasan, Asti and Prati. They decorated themselves very nicely. They came before their Lord. From a distance, he saw they had beautiful crowns and ornaments and everything. Guards, Krishna Balaram have come! Krishna Balaram have come! Kill them! Hare Maharaj, it's us, your wives. I asked all the Grihasthas here, when you see your wife, do you see Krishna? Even seeing his wife, Kamsa was seeing Krishna. But his activity is not considered bhakti. Because he's pratikul. He's seeing Krishna how to kill him. Pratikul. But Rupa Goswami specifically mentioned anukulyena Krishna. Anukul. You must think of Krishna favorably. So Advaitacharya, he was preaching this pure Krishna bhakti amongst all his friends and associates. But his heart was saddened seeing the situation in the world. Eventually, Haridas Thakur also came. He left Haridaspur and came to Shantipur to get the association of the Vaishnavas. And they became very good friends, discussing Krishna Katha and discussing Krishna philosophy. So one day, it was the anniversary of the death of his father. So Advaita Prabhu, he wanted to perform the Shraddha ceremony. Now we have to understand, at this time, in Bengal, practically whole of India, there was this very heavy caste consciousness. At that time, even if some outcast sprinkled some water on you, you were completely, what to speak of being a Brahmin anymore, you were completely excommunicated from Hindu society. Such terrible mentality was there, simply based on bodily conceptions. We do not find in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma svabhavasa. The one is known by his, and he doesn't, he says, what is it? He doesn't say Janma karma, he says, I'm thinking that verse, Janma karma chamedi, what is that verse? Chaturvarnam maya system, guna karma vibhagasa. He says by quality. He doesn't say Janma karma, he says guna, by quality and work. But society had fallen to the point that just by somehow some outcast sprinkled water on you, you immediately became kicked out of society. What to speak of being born outcast, what to speak of being born in Muslim family. And Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. And in the Shraddha ceremony, one is supposed to offer the prasadam, the Mahaprasad, to the topmost Brahmins. But at Vaitacharya, he invited Haridas Thakur to be the first to receive prasad. Haridas Thakur was shocked. What are you doing? He said, no, you are constantly chanting the holy name of Krishna. Constantly meditating on the lotus seat of Krishna. You are better than millions of Brahmins. I remember at my initiation ceremony, which the anniversary was just not long ago, on the fourth day of the dark half of the month of Magh. Now we're in the bright half, on the fourth day of the bright half of Magh, sometime in January of 1970. Out of his unlimited mercy, Srila Prabhupada gave me initiation. I didn't take initiation because I was still not qualified. But Prabhupada gave me initiation. And in his lecture, he quoted one verse. Suchi hoy muchi hoy yada Krishna tyaji. Suchi hoy muchi hoy suchi hoy yadi Krishna bhaji. He said if somebody is suchi means Brahman, clean, but he has given up Krishna consciousness, or he has no Krishna consciousness, muchi, he immediately becomes muchi, lowest down caste. Prabhupada was a dealer in skin, cobbler. He's dealing in dead animal skin. But even if one is muchi, low down, dealing with dead animal skins, but he has taken to Krishna consciousness, suchi, he immediately becomes suchi, Brahman. So Prabhupada told us in that initiation ceremony, that lecture, you take advantage of this small Bengali verse. Take advantage of this small Bengali verse, take up this Krishna consciousness, chant Hare Krishna, and make your life perfect. So Vaitacharya said, you're constantly chanting the holy name of Krishna, constantly absorbed in Krishna, you're better than millions of Brahmins. So he gave first worship to Haridas Thakur. This must have been so astonishing thing in those times, we can't imagine. Even we know that Rupa and Sanatan, they're the greatest of the Vaishnavas. But still they were rejected from Hindu society just because they were serving under the Muslim king. In such a society, Vaitacharya, this must have been an astonishing thing for him to do. Vaitacharya didn't care, and Mahaprabhu, he didn't care for these external bodily things. One is known as a devotee or Vaishnava by his qualities. So Vaita, he was saddened seeing the situation of the world. And he felt himself helpless, even though it's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. First, let's understand, who is Advaita? Anyway, this is the wrong chapter. Okay. I can't remember the verse, but in Adi Lila, in chapter 1, I believe it's the 12th and 13th verses. Srila Krishna's Kaviraj, he describes that this Advaita Prabhu, he's none other than Mahavishnu. Who is that Mahavishnu? He's the one who enters into the causal ocean and lies down in Yoga Nidra as he breathes out. Billions and billions of universes come from like bubbles from the pores of his body. Each of those bubbles, that Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to create the universe inside each one of those bubbles. Then he expands as Garbhodakshaya, then which Vishnu? Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who expands as a super soul in every living being. So there's billions. We can't even conceive of this one universe. We're peering out with our telescopes and radio telescopes. We can't understand anything. But Mahavishnu is so huge that billions of universes are created by him. Try to understand the position of Advaita Acharya. So that person from whom all the universes are emanating expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, that's Super Soul Paramatma. In every heart of every living being, that same person appeared as Sri Advaita Prabhu. This is a description of Srila Krishna's Kaviraj. But even he himself was feeling helpless. We can't imagine the situation. But we can. We see how Kali Yuga has advanced, how terrible the situation is. How can I save these people? This is the heart of a Vaishnava. He's not satisfied to liberate himself. He wants that others also have this happiness of Krishna consciousness. They're absorbed in sense gratification, which always leads to frustration. We're totally convinced that by enjoying this material world, we'll find happiness. But the happiness is very flickering and ultimately leads to frustration. I can remember in LA, Prabhupada was sitting on the Vyasa-san giving class, and he said, so, for millions of lifetimes, you've been trying to enjoy in this material world. Can anybody here say, now I'm fully satisfied, I don't want anything? Anyone can say? No one can say. Lust is like a fire. If you think that by pouring fuel on the fire you will satisfy the fire, it blazes even more. The more you enjoy sense gratification, the more the fire of lust burns in your heart, the more you eventually become totally frustrated. But we're totally convinced, we're captured like the moth. He sees that fire, that light, he flies into the fire and is finished. Like I remember when I was a young devotee, there was some appearance day just like today. We're fasting for half the day. Those days, that was a new thing, fasting. We were worried whether we survive half-day fast. You know, we used to eat prasadam like anything. Those days, temples were very poor, but feast was very rich. Now the temples are very rich and the feast is very poor. So half-day fast, we thought, will we survive? So somehow or other we managed to fast for half a day. Then it was 12 o'clock Artik. We all had Artik and chanted. Then we all dashed to the prasadam room. This is in the old Berkeley Temple near San Francisco. You all know Berkeley. So we all sat down. We couldn't wait for prasad half day. Oh my goodness. They brought the pots. Immediately we started, we just couldn't wait, And the servers are serving out as fast as they could. And this is old days. So somehow or other, the cooks, they had made this wonderful chocolate cake with thick, creamy chocolate icing. Devotees or Sikhs were standing on end just looking at this. They couldn't wait for the prayer to finish, Everybody's looking at that chocolate cake. And finally the prayer was over. Everybody grabbed that chocolate cake. But the neophyte cooks, they put salt instead of sugar. Everybody took a bite and they looked at it, but it looked so nice. Or maybe from fasting something happened to the taste buds. So we had to try a second. It looked so nice. Had to try a second time, Some people tried a third time. So it's like that. Everybody's simply absorbed in this. They're fascinated by the shining magic of Maya. But when you buy it, it's salt instead of sugar. So Advaitacharya thought only if Sri Krishna himself comes. He's the expansion. He's creating billions of universes, but he's feeling only if Sri Krishna himself comes can something be done about this world. So he began to sit on the bank of the Ganga, praying and praying and praying. He was trying to think how to bring Krishna here. Then he remembered a nice verse. I think it's from Padma Puran. Tusidala matrena jalasya kula chenava vikrinatam Bhaktibhyo Bhaktavatsalam. That tulsi dal amatrena, simply with the tulsi dal, or jalasya kula chenava. The amount of water that you can hold in the palm of your hand. Jai Sri Sri Gonitai Sri Radha Madan Mohan Sri Krishna Balaram. A tulsi leaf and a little bit of what? Just what? Kula chenava, what you can hold in the palm of your hand. Vikrinatam samatmanam. Bikri, we know Bikri. Everywhere in Vrindavan you see land. Bikao hai. He sells himself to that person who offers. Vikrina swamatmanam. He sells himself. Bhaktibhyo Bhaktavatsalam. He's so kind to his devotees. Just so sweet. So Vaitacharya, he began to take the Ganga water and worship with Tulsi. This is why Tulsi worship is so important. It was actually, we give Advaitacharya the credit, but it's actually Tulsi Maharani who brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this world. So he began crying and crying. Those cries reached the heart of Sri Krishna. And Vaitacharya was just waiting when my Lord will appear. One day he went to the Ganga to take his bath and worship the Ganga. And he suddenly noticed he poured water with tulsi leaves into the Ganga, and the Ganga was flowing this way, but tulsi leaves were flowing that way. What is this? He followed those tulsi leaves down the river, and there was Sachimata bathing in the river, and those tulsi leaves began to go circumambulate Sachimata as she was bathing in the river. She was pregnant. And Advaitacharya, he bowed before Sachimata was frightened. This huge aristocratic Brahmin bowing. She ran to Jagannath Mishra. I don't know what's going on. This Advaitacharya is going crazy. He's bowing down to me. Then Advaitacharya understood his wish is being fulfilled. One day he was with Haridas and all the Vaishnavas. It was the Purnima of Falgun, next month, coming up. Suddenly his heart filled with great joy. All the Vaishnavas, they found the kirtan was super ecstatic. Then Advaitacharya understood, my desire has been fulfilled. My Lord has appeared. Advaita and Haridas began to dance like madmen. All the Vaishnavas danced like madmen. And he sent his wife, Sita Thakurani, to go bring gifts to the newborn child. Even Advaita Prabhu could see that all the demigods in the universe had come to glorify, receive this child in the world. He can understand how my desire is satisfied. So in the beginning, the Vaishnavas, they were very happy, but they became a little disappointed because Nimai was just, became a big scholar, Nimai Pandit. And they were all waiting, when will he take to the path of Vaishnavism? And we know that Jagannath Mishra left this world quite young age. Nimai, he went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha. There he met the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Advaitacharya was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and also Ishwar Puri, his disciple, was there. Then Mahaprabhu came like a madman. When he returned to Nadia, all the Vaishnavas were very happy. Advaitacharya's joy knew no bounds. But as described, Advaitacharya was a little disturbed because Mahaprabhu understood that Advaitacharya, he's the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. So he's, Ishwar Puri is the disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and he's equal to my guru. He always used to bow down and accept Advaitacharya, although Advaitacharya, he had appeared 50 or 60 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This disturbed Advaitacharya to no end, that he, Krishnadas Kaviraj, in those verses, we don't have I have the wrong book today. He describes how Advaitacharya always feels himself the servant of Srimad Mahaprabhu. So he is very disturbed. He's always getting this respect. So one time Advaitacharya hatched some plan. He began to preach Mayavad philosophy. As soon as he began to preach Mayavad philosophy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became like a lion. He came there with a stick to beat Advaitacharya. Now Advaitacharya was very happy because only a superior can beat you. He became very happy. Now Advaitacharya said, now my desire is satisfied. You've accepted me as your servant. Because only the master can chastise his servant. Like this. And we know there's interesting pastime. At a very young age, Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas. He went to Katwa, took sannyas from Keshav Bharati. Then he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but somehow the Vaishnavas, especially Lord Nityananda, he brought him back to Navadvip. Toward Navadvip they came. They came to the Ganga, and Lord Nityananda said, just see, here's the Jamuna. And Mahaprabhu came in ecstasy seeing the Jamuna. And soon a Bodha came across the Jamuna with Advaitacharya. And Mahaprabhu was surprised. How Advaitacharya? He lives in Shantipur. How is he here in Vrindavan also? He asked Advaitacharya, what are you doing here in Vrindavan? He said, my Lord, this is on the other side of the river is Shantipur. Then he understood this Nityananda has cheated him. So they took Lord Chaitanya to Advaita Prabhu's house. He served a wonderful feast to both Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. And Mahaprabhu kept saying, no, he kept putting piles and piles of prasadam on his plate. He said, no, now I'm a sannyasi, I can't eat so much. And Lord Nityananda, being avadut, he looked, he said, this is just a pinch, I've been fasting, and today you invited me to a fast. What is this? Mahaprabhu said, no, you're giving me too much, how can I eat all this? He said, no, my Lord, no. He kept bringing more and more. Nityananda became so angry. Finally, he threw some of that rice that Lord Advaita, some of those particles of rice, and Advaita danced in ecstasy, receiving the mercy of Lord Nityananda in that way. So there's so many wonderful pastimes of Sri Advaita Prabhu. But for us, the most important thing is to imbibe that spirit. Advaita Prabhu was seeing the fallen condition of the souls in Kali Yuga. And he wanted to free them from this fallen condition. So on this holy day of Sri Advaita Prabhu's appearance, we can fall down at his lotus feet and beg him to give us some of that compassion. We have no compassion. We're simply happy to chant our rounds and take prasad and do a little service, but we don't have that compassion. That is the real quality of a Vaishnava. He's not happy being happy himself. He wants to make others happy. Just like Srila Prabhupada has imbibed that mood of Sri Advaita. He was living very peacefully in Vrindavan. In his own words, he said, I was at the fag end of my life. We still have a few more years to go to get to 70, but already it's such a, this body is giving so much trouble. We can't imagine how, age of 70, Prabhupada left the holy land of Vrindavan to go to the capital of Kali Yuga, Kali Yuki Rajdhani. New York City is the capital of Kali Yuga. It's like we follow our 4 regulative principles. In New York, breaking those 4 regulative principles is a daily program. Prabhupada left that Vrindavan where everyone is simply intoxicated with the holy name of Krishna. Because I remember the first time I came to Vrindavan, 1974, in the Mayapur Vrindavan Festival. That time we were all staying in Fogal Ashram. And we used to come down to Prabhupada's house for darshan in the evening. And we were walking back down the street. I saw these people in front of me. They were walking very funny. They were bumping into each other and sort of, walking like this. I said, what's going on here? So I went up close behind them, and I saw these Brishvasis just walking down the street, and they're going, Radhe, 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 Radhe. They were completely intoxicated with Radharani's name, walking. In New York City, you'll also see people walking like that. But they're not chanting Radharani's name. Maybe Johnny Walker's name. The Prabhupada left that Vrindavan to go to this place. In Vrindavan, you see the cows come every morning. They have their route. They know which house will give them some nice greens or a hot chapati. They come and put their nose with their big eyes. And the lady will come out, whatever greens she chopped up that day, whatever's left over from the sabji, she will give to the cow, or she'll give her a nice hot chapati, like that. One devotee, she just brought her daughter for the first time. She's born in Vrindavan, but she just brought her daughter first time to Vrindavan. And every time she's so excited, oh Mata, there's a cow. There's a cow, Mata. Everywhere in Vrindavan you see cows. Prabhupada left that Vrindavan where the cow was worshipped and treated with love and respect. He went to that place, New York City, where in every corner, on the 4 corners, there's a restaurant. In this holy place, we cannot say before the Lord what is being served in that restaurant. All we can say is Go Mata Ki Jai. He left that Vrindavan to go to such a place. Of course, now they've cleaned it up, but Prabhupada went to that New York. There was one street, horrible street at those days. Now they've cleaned it up. But he left that Vrindavan where we see the ladies every morning. They have their saris pulled carefully over their heads, going very shyly with their little thali with a banana and some rice and some kumkum and incense to worship their favorite Thakurji. Very shyly and chastely going through the village streets like that. There was one street in New York for 1 mile, 1.5 kilometers, both sides of the street, there's nothing but naked dance show going on, naked cinemas going on. He left that Vrindavan and went to such a place. So Prabhupada is the embodiment of that compassion of Lord Advaita Prabhu, who was thinking how to save these fallen people. Prabhupada said, I have no idea how they will hear my message. But Prabhupada, we have seen that prayer. He says, somehow you brought me here, so make me dance, make me dance. So we want to get that compassion. There's like another modern story of Advaita Prabhu. Because after Prabhupada began preaching, then people began coming to India. And in Shantipur, the Pujari noticed that suddenly these white Vaishnavas are coming to see the place of Advaita Acharya. He is very surprised. From my festival time, all of a sudden these funny-looking Vaishnavas appear. So he asked one, and that devotee, he was explaining how his spiritual master came from Bengal and went all over the world and spread Krishna consciousness. And he opened up the Bhakti Godhead and showed him the picture of Prabhupada, and the Pujari began to cry. He recognized, even though Prabhupada was in sannyas dress, he recognized this is that Abai Babu who used to come here as a householder. He would sit before Advaita Prabhu and chant and chant. He would come here every once in a while. I would see this person. And I remember one day he came and he was crying. And I asked him, what's the matter? He said, my Guru Maharaj has ordered me to go to the Western worlds to preach Krishna consciousness. I don't know how to do it. I'm just begging for Advaita Prabhu's mercy to be able to do it. He was chanting his rounds and crying before the deity of Advaita Prabhu. I remember him, I remember him. He was so astounded to see that Prabhupada actually fulfilled the desire of Sri Advaita Prabhu, that the fallen souls be given the opportunity to take to this Krishna consciousness. So this is our prayer at the lotus feet of Advaita Prabhu, to give us a little bit of that compassion. Now we become old and complacent in Krishna consciousness. We need to get that compassion. Just like now, Krishna has given us a wonderful opportunity. In a couple of months, millions of people will come here for this Kumbh Mela. So we've all come here to plan how to capture all those fallen souls with Lord Chaitanya's net of mercy. They've all come to get the nectar. But that nectar will not give you eternity. The devas, they're considered eternal, but they also have to leave. But this chanting of the Maha Mantra, this will give you real eternity. So the people have come to get the nectar. Now, we haven't come here to get nectar. We're out of time, by the way. I could tell a whole story about Pavan Sarovar. But even Prayagraj, the king of all the Kumbh Melas, he goes there to Pavan Sarovar to take his bath. So we don't go to Kumbh Mela to take bath. Especially from Vrindavan. We can just go to Pavan Sarovar. Even Prayagraj himself comes there to take bath. But every day in this Mahakumbh, We will take the wonderful deities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda mounted on their beautiful altar on the bullock cart, and we'll wander through the Kumbh area, chanting the holy name of Krishna, bathing everyone with the real nectar, the nectar of the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we beg all of you to help us in this great endeavor to distribute that compassion of Lord Chaitanya, that compassion of Lord Chaitanya, that compassion of Srila Prabhupada to all the fallen souls. Hare Krishna. So any questions? Yes.
To speak something about in Hindi, so that
Well, translation was going on, but
no, people want to hear Hindi from your mouth. And Vrindavan pastimes, especially.
All right. तो एक बार नंदलाला ने देखा कि माँ यशोदा बहुत विचित्र प्रकार का भोजन बना रही थी. वो नहीं बना रही थी ये दाल चावल रोटी सब्जी, वो सब प्रकार का फ्राइड पदार्थ बना रही थी. तो लाला आया बोला मैया, अरे मैया किस प्रकार के विचित्र भोजन बना रही है आज, किस प्रकार का विचित्र भोजन बना रही है आज. तो लाला तेरा बाबा वो तीर्थ यात्रा में जा रहा है, ये सब पदार्थ वो घी में फ्राइड है, वो बहुत लंबे समय तक सेव रहेगा, वो यात्रा में वो खाते रहेंगे. ये आज भी भारत में ऐसे लोग हैं जो बाहर के पदार्थ नहीं खाते. कम हो रहा है लेकिन फिर भी कुछ है. नहीं तो ये सब आवाज नहीं सुन रहेगा ट्रेन में. केला केला बनाना, केला केला बनाना, सेब सेब, एप्पल एप्पल, सेब सेब, एप्पल, संतरे संतरे संतरे, ऑरेंज ऑरेंज, गरम गरम सिंगारा, गरम गरम सिंगारा, गरम गरम सिंगारा, चाय चाय. फिर भी हम देखते हैं कि कुछ लोग तो अपना टिफिन में अपने घर का बना हुई पदार्थ ले आते हैं. तो लाला ने पूछा मैया से कि मैया अब बाबा कहाँ जाएंगे, कहाँ जाएंगे बाबा. लाला तेरा बाबा वो प्रयाग जाएंगे. अरे मैया ये खाएं, मैया ये खाएं मैया. अरे लाला मैं बहुत व्यस्त हूँ रसोई में. हाँ तू बहुत प्रश्न पूछते हैं. ये छोटा लाला हमेशा प्रश्न पूछते हैं. जैसे माता जी हंस रही है, जानती है. तू बाबा के पास जाओ. तो नंदलाला बाबा के पास आया. बाबा बाबा कहाँ जा रहे बाबा, बाबा कहाँ जा रहे बाबा, बाबा कहाँ जा रहे. लाला मैं प्रयाग जाऊंगा. अच्छा बाबा ये कहाँ है बाबा, ये कहाँ है. लाला ये बहुत पवित्र तीर्थ है जहाँ गंगा जमुना और सरस्वती संगम में आते हैं. जब दो या अधिक नदी मिल जाते हैं इसको संगम कहते हैं. ऐसे यहाँ भी कोई जर्मनी से आया, कोई अमेरिका से आया, कोई बॉम्बे से आया, कोई बंगाल से आया, कोई कर्नाटक से आया, कोई उज्जैन भी से आया, और हम सब मिल गए भक्त संगम में. अच्छा बाबा लेकिन बाबा बाबा आज बहुत अमंगल दिन है यात्रा करने के लिए, कल जाइए, कल अक्षय तृतीया है. अब देखते हैं हमारे पंजिका में अप्रैल मई के पास एक तिथि आते हैं अक्षय तृतीया, चंदन यात्रा का शुभारंभ. अब तो देखे होंगे. सो अक्षय शाय मानी जो नीचे चले जाते हैं, कम हो जाते हैं. सो अक्षय मानी जो हमेशा बाहर जाते हैं. सो अक्षय तृतीया पे जो कुछ कर्म आप करेंगे इसका फल अनलिमिटेड होगा, अनंत होगा. इसलिए अक्षय तृतीया पर ये व्यापार लोग अपना नया दुकान का उद्घाटन करते हैं. तो वो चाहते हैं कि उसका फायदा अक्षय अनंत होगा. जैसे आज वो नीचे जा रहे, वो चाहते कि आनंद, अक्षय। और लोग गृह प्रवेश करते, वो अपना नया घर में, उसका सुख अक्षय होगा, ऑलवेज इंक्रीजिंग। और अगर नंदगांव में आना चाहते हैं इस स्थिति पर ये उत्सव देखने के लिए, तो बहुत समय से पहले आपका गाड़ी बुक करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि सब गाड़ी शादी में बुक हो जाएंगे। तो इस दिन बिना पंडित जी से पूछ के आप शादी कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि सब लोग चाहते हैं कि वो भी अक्षय, हैप्पीली एवर आफ्टर। और यात्रा करने के लिए वो भी बहुत शुभ दिन है। सो नंद बाबा बोला, ठीक है लाला, क्यों तू बता रहे, मैं कल जाऊंगा। तो अगले दिन नंद बाबा मंगलवार से पहले हमेशा जाते थे नंद सरोवर। एक सरोवर था, इसका नाम था उस समय था नंद सरोवर। नंद महाराज ने खुदाई की है सब ब्रजवासियों के प्रसन्नता के लिए। नंद सरोवर के पास आकर वो देखे बहुत विशाल आदमी था, जो धूल में लौट रहा था और हंस रहा था। हा 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 हा, ओ हो। फिर ये सरोवर में स्नान करते, फिर धूल में लौटते थे। हा 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 हा, ओ हो। ऐसा आदमी नंद बाबा कभी नहीं देखा अपना नंदगांव में। इनके पास गए कि महाराज तू कौन है? बाबा मैं प्रयाग हूं। नंद बाबा, प्रयाग? यह कोई प्रयाग तो रहते ही नहीं। अरे बाबा यह का नहीं है, मैं प्रयागराज सब तीर्थों का राज है, जहां गंगा जमुना सरस्वती संगम में आते। अच्छा ऐसे? महाराज क्यों तू यहाँ आया है? अरे बाबा साल भर सब लोग अपना अपना पाप मेरे ऊपर छोड़ देते हैं, तो एक दिन ये अक्षय तृतीया के दिन हम ये आते, इस धूल में लौटते हैं और इस सरोवर में स्नान करता हूं और फिर हम पावन हो जाता हूं। अच्छा ऐसे है? फिर नंद बाबा ने देखे दूसरे किनारे बहुत से सुंदर स्त्री स्नान कर रहे। ऐसे सुंदर स्त्री कभी नहीं देखा। इतने सुंदर सुंदर साड़ी पहने, ऐसे साड़ी कभी नहीं देखा नंद बाबा। इनके पास गए कि माताओं तू कौन है? किसने कहा गोदावरी, नर्मदा, सिंधु, कावेरी, गंगा, कृष्णवेणी, जितनी भी पवित्र नदी वो सब वहां उपस्थित थी स्नान करने के लिए। और माताओं क्यों यहाँ आया? अरे बाबा साल भर सब लोग अपना अपना पाप हमारे ऊपर छोड़ देता है, तो हम यहाँ आते इस अक्षय तिथि पर, हम इस धूल में लौटती है और इस सरोवर में स्नान करती है, हम पावन हो जाते पवित्र। अच्छा ऐसे है? तो नंद बाबा ने स्नान किया, फिर ऊपर गए। उस समय तक तो नंदा लाला जग गए। तो लाला आया, बाबा बाबा अभी जा रहे बाबा, बाबा बाबा अभी जा रहे बाबा, अभी जा रहे बाबा। अरे लाला अब नहीं जाऊंगा। अच्छा क्यों बाबा? लाला जितनी भी तीर्थ हम जाना चाहते वो सब यह आया आज, तो क्यों कष्ट उठा के वहां जाए? क्यों कष्ट उठा के वहां जाए? ये सब यह आया स्नान करने के लिए। तो उस समय तक इस सरोवर का नाम हो गया पावन सरोवर। इस सरोवर में जो स्नान करते हैं वो पावन पवित्र हो जाते हैं। बोलो नंदा लाला की जय, श्री अद्वैत प्रभु की जय, ताई गौ प्रेमानंदे दबाएंगे श्री प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्ण।
His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu ki jai.
Giving his tiny opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One small